I never thought I'd be writing something like this, but here I am, and honestly, I don't even know where to start. My name's Mike, and I was engaged to a woman named Lisa. We, known each other for years, had a pretty normal relationship, or so I thought. She was the kind of girl who could be bitchy and manipulative, but I always figured that was just her personality. Still, she was gorgeous, smart, and we had plans. We were supposed to get married in a couple of weeks, and I was on top of the world. Everything seemed perfect, or at least, it was until a few days ago. It wasn't like I ever had any real suspicion about her, not at first. But I started noticing small things. She was more secretive with her phone, always texting or scrolling through it when she thought I wasn't looking. She'd get defensive if I asked about who she was talking to, and her stories about where she was going, who she was with, didn't always add up. I brushed it off, told myself maybe she was just stressed, or maybe I was just paranoid. But then I caught her in a lie, not just a little lie. I caught her outright lying about being somewhere with her friends when I saw her sneaking around on her phone late at night. That's when I started digging. The real bombshell hit me when I came home early from work last week. I had this strange feeling, so I decided to surprise her. Bad idea in hindsight. I walk in, and the apartment's too quiet. Usually, she'd be listening to her terrible music or complaining about her day. Instead, I found her in the bedroom, half-dressed, with a guy I didn't recognize. Well, I recognized him. It was my best man, Jake, my best friend, the guy I trusted more than anyone. They were tangled up in each other, and she was moaning his name. I froze. My heart stopped. My mind went blank. It was a scene straight out of a nightmare. She saw me, her eyes wide with that bitchy smirk she always has when she's lying or trying to manipulate someone. "Mike," she said, trying to brush it off like it was nothing, like I was overreacting. She said she was just helping Jake fix his car, that I was just seeing things. Yeah, right. I could see her lipstick smudged, her hair a mess, and the guy's shirt half unbuttoned. It was obvious what was happening. My mind was spinning, and I felt like I was about to throw up. How could she lie right to my face? How could she cheat on me with my best man right before our wedding? I mean, she knew how much I loved him, how much I trusted him. And now, it's like she just stomped all over everything I believed in. I wanted to scream at her, to yell at Jake, but I couldn't even get the words out. Instead, I just stood there numb. She kept saying it was nothing, that I didn't understand her, that she was just stressed and it meant nothing. But I could see through her bullshit. She's always been a master manipulator. She's the kind of girl who can lie with a smile, who can twist anything to her advantage. And here I was, finally seeing her for what she is. A liar, a cheat, a selfish bitch. And Jake, my best friend, I don't even recognize him anymore. I thought I knew him, but now I don't know who I trusted more, my wife or my best friend. That day, everything changed. I realized I can't trust anyone in my life anymore. The woman I loved, the man I called my brother, they both betrayed me in the worst way possible. It's like my entire world just crumbled in a matter of seconds. I went from wedding planning and dreams of a future to feeling completely lost and angry. I want to believe I'm strong enough to move past this, but right now, all I can feel is this burning rage and a deep, crushing disappointment. I don't know what I'll do next, but this isn't over. Not by a long shot. After I saw her with Jake, everything inside me just shut down for a moment. I stood there, staring like I was frozen, trying to process what I'd just seen. The room felt tiny, suffocating, like the walls were closing in. My mind was racing, trying to understand how she could do this, how Jake could betray me like that. I mean, Jake, been my best man since college. We've been through everything together, ball games, late nights, heartbreaks. And now he's in bed with my wife. It's like some sick joke I didn't sign up for. She kept trying to lie her way out of it, telling me it was just a mistake, that she was stressed, that they were just talking, bullshit excuses. The thing is, I knew she was lying because I saw her lips trembling, saw her eyes darting around like she was trying to hide something. That's when I snapped. My hands clenched into fists, and I felt this rush of anger I'd never really experienced before. I wanted to shake her stupid, bitchy face and scream, "How could you? How could you cheat with my best man? Do you even care how much you're destroying everything?" I told her to pack her stuff and get out. I didn't want to hear her lies anymore. She got defensive, of course, throwing her head back, acting like I was overreacting, like I was the crazy one. "It's not what you think," she spat at me, voice dripping with condescension. "You always jump to conclusions." Maybe I was just comforting him, or maybe it was a mistake. "You don't know what you're talking about." That's her favorite bullshit, telling me. I don't understand her, that I'm being paranoid, but I saw it with my own eyes. That night she came home smelling like sex, her hair all messed up. She tried to act normal, but I just knew. The next few days got worse. I couldn't sleep, couldn't eat. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw her with Jake. Every time I looked at her, I saw her lying and smirking, trying to make me doubt myself. I felt betrayed, humiliated, like a damn fool for ever trusting her. And the worst part, I couldn't tell anyone. I mean, what could I say? That my wife, the girl I was about to marry, was cheating on me with my best friend. It's not the kind of thing you just talk about lightly. So I kept it all inside, pretending everything was fine while inside I was falling apart. I started noticing more signs. She'd hide her phone even more, texting late at night, then claiming she was just talking to her sister. Yeah, right. Every time I asked her who she was texting, she'd lie, change the subject, or get bitchy. She'd get defensive and say, I didn't trust her, that I was being paranoid. But I wasn't paranoid, I'd seen enough. And honestly, I felt like I'd been played for a fool. How could she lie straight to my face, so convincingly? She's a master at pretending, at twisting words, making herself out to be the victim. But I knew better. I knew she was a cold, manipulative bitch who'd do anything to cover her tracks. What hurt the most was knowing Jake, my best friend, had done this. It's like he was always a little shady, never really my guy, but I trusted him. Now, that trust is gone. I don't even know who I was fooling all these years. He's supposed to be my brother, and yet he was screwing my wife behind my back. The betrayal runs deep. I never thought I'd see the day I'd feel this level of rage, this sense of loss. I keep asking myself, how could I have missed the signs? How could I have been so blind? The truth hit me hard, and I don't think I can ever look at either of them the same way again. Now I'm stuck in this mess, trying to figure out what to do next. Do I confront her again? Do I cut ties with both of them and just start over? Honestly, I just want to forget everything, but I know I can't. The damage is done. The trust I once had is shattered, and I feel like I'm standing on the edge of a cliff, about to fall into some dark abyss of anger and heartbreak. This story isn't over, but I swear I'll never look at my life the same way again. I trusted them, loved them, and they threw it all away with one stupid, selfish night. The aftermath of that night is something I can't really put into words. I kept replaying everything in my head. Her smirk, Jake's guilty face, the way she tried to deny it all. Every detail just burned into my mind, making it impossible to focus on anything else. I felt like I was walking around in a fog, angry, hurt, and completely betrayed. That betrayal wasn't just about the sex, it was about trust, about the fact that the two people I cared about most in this world decided I wasn't worth honesty. I didn't sleep for days. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw her with Jake. Every time I looked at her, I saw her lying, smirking, trying to spin her way out of it. It was like some sick nightmare I couldn't wake up from. I started questioning everything, my judgment, my choices, whether I ever really knew her at all. The girl I thought was strong, bitchy maybe, but decent enough, was she just pretending all along? And Jake, my best man, was he always a snake hiding behind that friendly face? I knew I had to confront her again. I couldn't keep living like this, pretending I didn't know what she'd done. So one afternoon I called her, told her I needed to talk face to face. She acted surprised, like she genuinely didn't see why I was upset. She tried to act innocent, like I was overreacting. That's her usual tactic: deny, deflect, lie. She kept saying things like, "You don't understand me," or "You're just jealous," as if that made everything okay. But I wasn't buying it anymore. I could see through her bullshit now. When she finally came over, I laid everything out. I told her I knew she cheated, that Jake was involved, and that I saw them. Her reaction? A smirk again, like she was amused by my anger. "Well, yeah," she said, like it was no big deal. "We've been doing this for a while, it's not like it's a secret." Those words hit me like a punch to the gut. I was stunned. I felt my stomach turn. How could she be so nonchalant, like this was just some little fling? like she didn't care that she was about to ruin my life. She kept trying to justify it, saying it was just sex, that it didn't mean anything, that I was just overreacting. I told her I wasn't going to be some fool anymore, that I deserved honesty and respect. She laughed, a sharp, bitchy laugh, and said I was too naive, that she was always going to do what she wanted, that she was the boss of her own life. I was furious, but I also felt this deep sadness. It was like I'd lost my best friend, my fiancé, and any sense of normalcy all at once. At that point, I realized I had to make a choice. I couldn't keep pretending this was just a misunderstanding. I needed to know if there was any hope left or if everything was truly over. But inside, I already knew. The trust was gone. All that was left was a deep, aching pain and this burning desire to make her pay for what she did. I think what hurts the most is that I wasn't just betrayed by her, but by Jake too. My best friend. The person I'd trusted with my secrets, my hopes, my future. Now I don't know if I can ever forgive either of them, and honestly, I don't even want to try. This whole thing is a mess, and I'm just trying to keep it together. I've never felt so lost and angry in my life. I keep asking myself, how do you move on from something like this? Can you forgive? Or do you just walk away and forget everything? I don't have the answers yet, but one thing's clear. My world has been turned upside down, and I'm not sure I'll ever trust anyone again the way I did before. The days that followed that confrontation were a blur. I just stayed in my apartment, barely able to function. My mind kept circling back to everything I'd seen and heard. The betrayal was like a knife twisting deeper with each passing hour. I was furious at Jake, at Lisa, at myself for ever trusting them. I couldn't believe I had let myself be blind for so long. The girl I thought was bitchy but loyal was just a manipulative liar and my best friend. He was a snake all along. I started noticing small things, how she avoided my eyes, how she'd get defensive if I brought up the wedding or the future. She'd say I was paranoid, that I was overreacting, but I knew better. I knew she was just trying to cover her tracks. Still, part of me felt like I was losing my mind. Maybe I was overthinking it, maybe I was just hurt and angry, but deep down I knew I couldn't stay with someone who would do that to me. One night, I decided I had to get out of that apartment. I needed some space, some clarity. I grabbed my phone and called my sister, Lisa's least favorite person. I told her everything and she was furious. She couldn't believe Lisa was cheating, especially with Jake, her words exactly. She told me to pack up and leave the house, said I deserved better. That was the first real push I needed. I grabbed a bag, told Lisa I was leaving, and she didn't even try to stop me, just smirked and said, "Good luck, Mike, you're gonna need it." As I drove away, all I could think about was how betrayed I felt. All those plans, all those promises just blown apart in one stupid night. I was angry, yes, but also broken. How could someone I loved do this? How could my best friend, the guy I trusted with my life, screw me over like that? It's like everyone I ever cared about just turned out to be a lie. I felt so alone, so abandoned, like I was standing in the middle of a storm with no shelter. I spent the next few days sleeping on my sister's couch, trying to piece myself back together. I kept replaying everything, trying to find some reason, some explanation that would make sense of the chaos. But there wasn't one. There was just betrayal. Pure, raw betrayal. I kept asking myself how I missed the signs, how I let myself get so blindsided. I thought I knew her. I thought I knew Jake. Turns out I didn't know either of them at all. I also started thinking about what I wanted to do next. Part of me wanted to confront them again, to let them know I wasn't going to be a pushover. But another part knew that would just give them more power over me. They already took enough. I realized I needed to cut ties, to walk away from this mess and rebuild. The trust I had in people is shattered, and frankly, I don't know if I'll ever get it back. I'm just tired of feeling like I've been played. That's where I'm at now. Still hurt, still angry, but trying to find some kind of clarity. I don't know if I'll ever forgive Lisa or Jake. All I know is I can't stay like this forever. I have to find a way to heal, to move forward. It's not easy, and I'm not sure I even want to trust anyone anymore, but I do know this. I'm done being the fool. I won't let them ruin me completely, even if it means starting over from scratch. It's been a few weeks now since I left Lisa's place, and honestly, I feel like I'm just starting to crawl out of this dark hole. Every morning I wake up with a heavy heart, and every night I lie awake replaying everything again and again. The betrayal still stings like hell, but I guess I'm slowly coming to terms with the fact that I can't change what happened. All I can do is decide how I move forward. I've cut off contact with Lisa and Jake. No calls, no texts, no social media stalking, nothing. I realized that staying connected to them only kept me chained to the pain. I needed space, distance for my own sanity. The thing is, I'm not even mad anymore. Well, I am, but it's more like a numb kind of mad, like I've already grieved the loss of what I thought was real. The trust is gone, and honestly, I don't think I'll ever get it back. That realization hurts, but it's also freeing in a way. At work, things are weird. People are asking questions, giving sympathetic looks, and I can tell they all know something's up. I'm not good at hiding my feelings, so I just keep my head down and try to focus on anything else. I started seeing a therapist, which honestly helped a lot. Talking about it, getting some perspective, though hard, really, really hard, has made me realize that I need to focus on myself now. No more codependency, no more trusting people who clearly don't deserve it. I've learned my lesson the hard way. The most surprising thing, I don't even miss her that much anymore. Not in the way I used to. I used to think she was the love of my life, and now I see her for what she really is. A manipulative, selfish bitch who used me and then threw me aside like trash. Jake, same thing. I trusted him and he repaid me with betrayal. It's a shock to realize how easily I can be fooled, but honestly I feel a sense of clarity. I see things more clearly now. I see who they are and I know I deserve better. I've started focusing on myself, getting in shape, reconnecting with friends, finding new hobbies. I don't want to be some wrecked guy who's just waiting for someone to save him. I want to rebuild my life, piece by piece. It's hard, though. Sometimes I feel this overwhelming wave of sadness and anger all at once. And when I do, I let myself feel it. Then I remind myself that I'm better off without them, that I don't need their lies anymore. I'm tired of feeling like a fool. One thing I've realized is that betrayal cuts deep, but it also teaches you something. It shows you who really matters, who's genuine, and who's just pretending. I'd rather be alone than surrounded by fake people. I don't want anyone in my life who isn't honest and real. That's a hard lesson, but it's one I needed to learn. I don't think I'll ever forget what happened, but I do believe I can get past it. I have to. For myself. So I'm trying to move on. Not by forgetting, but by learning. I've accepted that I can't control what they did, but I can control how I let it define me. I'm not going to let that bitchy, manipulative girl or my so-called friend ruin any more of my life. I'll find someone who actually respects me, someone who's honest and kind. That's the goal now. And if I learned anything from this nightmare, it's that trust is a fragile thing, something you should never take for granted. Because once it's broken, it's almost impossible to fix. Looking back on everything that happened, I realize how much I've grown, though I'd never have chosen this path if I had a choice. It's crazy how life throws these brutal lessons right when you think you've got everything figured out. I used to believe in loyalty, in honesty, in the idea that I could trust the people I loved. Turns out that's a myth. People will lie, cheat, and betray you in ways you never expect, all while smiling in your face and pretending they're innocent. That realization hurts, but it also makes me smarter. I've learned that the biggest betrayal isn't just about the sex or the lies. It's about how the people you trust can turn into strangers overnight. When I saw Lisa with Jake, I felt like my world was crashing down. But what really hit me harder was the fact that I had trusted them with my heart, my future, and they threw it all away just for some fleeting pleasure. That pain, that betrayal, it's something I'll carry with me for a long time. But I also understand now that I can't let it define me. Moving forward, I know I'll be more cautious. I won't be so quick to trust, and I won't ignore the signs. I'll take my time rebuilding my life piece by piece, and I'll make sure I only open up to people who show me they're worth it. I've realized that if someone going to betray me once, they'll do it again. Trust is sacred, and I won't give it out lightly anymore. Honestly, I feel a mix of relief and sadness. Relief because I don't have to carry the weight of their lies anymore, and sadness because I lost the girl I thought I loved and the friend I thought was loyal. But I also feel a strange sense of freedom. Freedom from the pain, from the illusion of trust, from the false hope that people are better than they are. It's a harsh lesson, but it's one I'll never forget. I want to tell anyone reading this that if you're going through something similar, just remember, you deserve honesty and respect. Don't settle for less just because you're afraid of being alone. Trust is fragile, and once broken, it's almost impossible to mend, so be careful who you let into your life. And when someone betrays you, don't blame yourself. You're not the problem. You're only human, and everyone makes mistakes. The important thing is what you do after. For me, I'm choosing to move on. I'm choosing to heal, to learn, and to grow. It's not easy, and I still have days where I feel like I'm stuck in the past, but I know I won't let this destroy me. I'll find happiness again, maybe not with Lisa and Jake, but with someone who actually values honesty and kindness. I'll rebuild what they tried to tear down, and I'll never forget what I've learned. Trust is a gift, and I'll be more careful about who I give it to from now on. That's the story. A painful lesson, but one that made me realize what really matters. I hope anyone reading this understands that life's worst betrayals can also be the start of something better, if you let them. I'm done with the lies. I'm done with the betrayal. Now it's time to move forward stronger and wiser than I was before.